Let me plug my Ethernet back in. Off the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I've only got one cable back here, so I gotta swap between the PlayStation and
All right. I started it up, so we are. Okay. Okay. Let me pull up the things. All right. Hello. Welcome to the ADabsCast. This is I'm MonkeyDabs. This is a rewrite for episode 2 because last time I didn't really get the audio and stuff like that. So uh well I got to learn a lot of more things through what's called that last podcast. So we were able to come out and stuff like that again, and come out and try to do it again and stuff. Um, I'm Monkey Dabs. The purpose of this podcast is to introduce many people that I experience in VR chat, whether it's group owners or people I find very interesting, and to kind of just show people of the world, what people are doing in VR chat with their communities and growing, talking to people, just showing off like where they're at, at this present time and place and their experience in VR chat. Last stream we talked about like VR chat groups, hate, social media perspective, and how we do better as people to guide others. And we will be discussing some of those topics today. They might be a little bit different. And what's it called we'll see how we'll go. This is our introducing our guest, our special dabber will be Janessa L Wood, and she's the owner of the Woods. Hello, Janessa.
Hi. How are you? Okay.
I'm doing good. It's been good. Yeah. um. Would you like to um introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Janessa. I'm the owner of the Woods. It's the art chat group that we're all part of. Uh, I'm a veteran. I'm 41 years old, one of those old people on VR that everybody hears about. Uh, yeah.
Yeah. Uh. Also talking about our introduction or introducing you, Janessa. Um, what's called? Would you like to talk about like how we met, or how like maybe not how we met, but like how we still engage and how we still go on about, and why we talk about with one another.
Yeah, we met. I remember the name of the club. It was one of those stoner clubs that opened up. Really cute club that nobody really used. I saw it used by a couple of club worlds. But you were there, you had just started streaming, and I had just got on VR chat, and you were the first VR chat owner that or streamer rather that I've met, and we became friends because we share a lot of the same ideals and morals. Gonzo popped by. Hey, Gonzo.
I know. Thank you, Kanzo.
And yeah, we just been working together ever since. Between, multi-hour smoke session chills.
Thank you. Yeah, what's it called? We do have like a lot of like smoke sessions and stuff that we do, or and at the time in the past, we just hang out and drink and stuff, or do karaoke, or just hang out at a bars and talk and stuff like that for hours, and like
Great, some of the greatest nights.
I love just like being able to kind of just sit around and spit some information back and forth, and I don't know what it does, but we're here and it continues to grow our
Hey,
communities, and we continue to believe in each
I
other.
don't I don't know about you, but I've gotten some creative ideas out of our random talks, because you're such a creative person, and I bounce off of you well.
Yeah, I'm happy that you do that. Like I have like gotten so much like ideas and like growth from just talking to you, and like it's nice that like just talking to different people in VR chat, we can like get so inspired from one another to continue to, like go out there and create and stuff like that. Believe in each other.
Yes. And build
Um
up other people along the way.
so what's it called? We met in VR chat and stuff. Like uh, since my podcast is kind of based around VR chat because I'm in VR chat. Like why or like why did you choose VR chat in the first place?
So honestly, I was looking for community. I was when I got into the internet in the mid '90s. Chat rooms were, where it was at, and I fell in love with chat rooms and meeting just random people from everywhere, and it was just great. And I was big in that culture for years and met a lot of people off of it. And of course, chat rooms have gone the way of the dinosaur. So, um, you know, as you know, I have a lot of mental health issues and such that as a lot of us do, and I was looking for a place to find kind of camaraderie that you used to get with, chat rooms. And I bought a VR headset that I hadn't really messed with, and then I came across VRChat and just started meeting the most incredible people. And I mean, it's literally the evolution of chat rooms. It's with now we can just sitting there typing. We now are actually physically interacting with each other, and
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
And then just with the amazing people that I've met, there's no place better.
yeah. That sounds awesome. It's like a chat room that you're not physically there, but you can move around in. I guess you
I
know.
mean, the
Yeah,
closest thing to physically sitting in a room that we can get. I mean, you
yeah,
can reach
exactly.
out, touch each other, you could see facial expressions. I
I
mean,
know
it's
we can go in there and just like hug each other even from afar, and we're like,
yeah,
yeah, we feel it. We're just like, oh, thank you. We feel the love.
and even if it's a virtual hug is still a hug.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That sounds like a wonderful experience. Honestly, like that you were able to find that, like and like it's something almost like new that comes. It's almost like the chat rooms itself, like that was pretty new back then, and now it's like the VR now, and it's becoming
I
really nice to experience for a lot of people, even the older generations and younger.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I got on AOL was in '95 at uh my stepdad's mom's neighbor's house, and he let us get on, and we just did little keyword searches and stuff because we went to keyword Nick and keyword MTV and stuff that we
Mm.
like. But then I remember the day I got the Alanis Morissette CD. So I sat there and heard Den on AOL and discovered chat rooms while listening to the Alanis Morissette
Oh
CD.
yeah,
And
dang.
so, I mean, chat rooms, and they were huge on AOL. And then Yahoo came out, and with the Yahoo chat rooms, MSN,
Mm-hmm.
even going back to ICQ, which a lot of people now don't remember.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Um, but I was active in all those areas in the chat rooms and stuff and loved it. And so to find something like this, and it to be such a perfect evolution up from that I
Yeah.
love it.
It's like what a lot of people probably dreamed of as as kids are barely going into the
Oh yeah.
internet and chat room. I
Oh
know I
yeah.
did. I
It,
know I did.
I doubt I don't you're a bit older. Do you remember a show on Nickelodeon called Nick Arcade?
Was it like games and
It was
stuff
a
like
game
that?
show.
It was a game
It was
show?
a game show.
Yeah.
Kids had to answer trivia, move this little
Oh
character around
yeah.
on a board, and then they had video game challenges where they had to play arcade games. But then the final round was they went into a VR room and had to
Oh.
play this real life game. You could see them across a green screen, but they were dodging obstacles. And I mean, I
Oh
never seen the. I need
dang.
to go. I want to go see how they actually filmed it back there. But like,
Yeah.
um, that's I remember seeing that and being like, God, how cool would it be to be in the video game, And now we can get on VRChat and play Majora's Mask and Mario
Yeah.
64 in first person in VR. Like, it's a literal dream come true
Oh
for,
yeah.
us nerd kids.
Yeah. That's hecka cool. Yeah, I don't know if I ever seen the VR headset on the Nick Arcade. I'm not sure what's
They
called.
didn't,
If maybe what's called I didn't maybe it was like a different game show I was
well,
thinking
they didn't
of.
have it wasn't actually a VR headset that they wore. They just went, like one contestant would stand out and watch their buddy, and they would go backstage into a
Oh.
green room, and they had to. It was usually collect 3 items across the room, like a key or hit a button. So they would have to jump across these platforms. So they're just jumping across in a probably foam, platform
Uh-huh.
and doing that, but on the green screen.
Oh,
But
okay. It looked
doing that, it gives you the illusion that they're actually playing the game. Um,
I,
I mean, Nick Arcade was like early '90s,
oh, okay,
like
okay.
so. Yeah, it was when Nick first dropped. It was a very early game show on there.
Oh
So
yeah, then yeah, for sure.
yeah,
I was for sure very very young. I need to look that up sometime. I want to see
yeah.
what they did.
I think it's. I want to say it's on Paramount. Because they own Nick.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
think it's on there. A lot of Nickelodeon stuff is, and I feel like I've seen it on there before and watched some.
I'll do some research on that for sure.
Or Popcorn Palace.
Oh yeah, popcorn palace. Oh yeah, popcorn palace. You know. No. Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Also, let's see. We kind of talked about these topics a little bit. We're still in like VR chat and stuff. Like, uh,
Mhm.
what do you like to do in VR chat?
Um, I'd like to build and grow communities. I love to help people. Um, I will go into younger bars that just open, and if they are struggling with something, I'll offer up and say, "Hey guys, if I need anything," and I'll give them any pointers of, from those of us that's been running bars for a while.
Mhm.
Um, and you know, I love, and I'll help out if they need help. And then networking, giving them, that they need menu help. I know people who create menus, if they
Mhm.
need, I know enough people to attract and connect people and get them the sources they need.
Yeah,
And then just sitting around and chatting and meeting people, networking, a whole lot of networking.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I personally like to do a lot of that too. I learned myself that like as I went along VR chat, like I needed help a lot, like understanding like how do you even run a group, and like naturally I kind of like joined groups, you know, when they first started going along, and I figured out that I like helping people. I like to help people, and not only that, you get a lot of experience, whether it's like talking or communicating or learning about others, or even learning how to run your own group, you know, and community and stuff like that. And the more people that you learn with, you gain like a little bit of confidence together, because you guys are working together and you guys are helping each other, and you're like confidently finding ways to get some help and to help others. And then, you know, like I found, you know, like since one of my first groups and stuff like that, like maybe we don't maybe I'm not involved in their group in like everyday activities, but I can come back and like, and they'll remember me. We'll remember, and they're doing their thing with their group, and I'm doing my thing with our group, and we have collabs, and we're able to like help one another because of our communities that we're growing separately. Um and it's just like part of the big whole of what is VR chat and connecting and socializing.
Yeah, that is true.
um,
Um,
yeah.
I know, and it's not just, and what's crazy is, there's no good guide for VRChat, so it's not just helping people set up groups. I love to when I find a new person that's brand new to VRChat and I can see they're struggling. I love to help people, show them the settings because there's no good
Oh
guides out there for
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So I mean, there's so much you can do to help people, and I just love making somebody's day by helping them out.
yeah, yeah. Like, oh, yeah. Like even just getting onto VR chat, even guiding them away from like certain instances, like that would probably be like, just be like, hey, the black cat itself, that's probably a toxic environment. If you like it, go ahead, But what's it called? Just be aware, especially as a newcomer, like being engulfed with a lot of those
Yeah,
things, it might get to you, But if you get like a little bit of understanding to start with, you'd be like, okay, somebody told me to stay away from there. It's I was warned. No, no.
yeah. You're right. It's and even setting up settings, something as simple as earmuff mode. Like so many people don't even know it exists and are getting their ears
Yeah,
blasted off.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like even like with your computer settings, because everybody has different computer settings, and you can you can get hit by a crasher instantly or something.
Yeah.
um.
Well, with people doing the 18 plus instances now, a lot of bars are going to that. I know Doobies and Boobies announced last night that on the first day of summer they will be 18 plus verified bar,
Oh yeah.
and they're a big one. So as more groups go to that and stop doing open instances like they do, the crashers and all that stuff goes away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and VRChat is a very small community too. So what's it called? If you're deemed like a crasher, you're going to need another profile, or if they know you, you're most likely gonna be known too.
The thing of beauty is with 18 plus, if that account gets banned,
Oh
they can't
yeah,
use their ID again.
yeah, they
So
can't. Yeah,
they're either going to roll the dice and risk it and don't care and get it banned, or they're going to straighten up,
oh yeah,
or just go do it with their friends who like that stuff. Because if they like it, by all means, but
yeah.
and let the rest of us enjoy our game.
So, I think we also talked about this other topic, like in a little bit of what we talked about. But what do you, in another better, like clear terms, what do you like to experience in VR chat, like for yourself?
Like seeing social environments where people are just there hanging out, each group's doing their own little thing peacefully. A bar could get rowdy, but it's fun in that way.
Yeah,
But none of the trolls, none of the nonsense. Like just people hanging out and having a good time. I personally will if I'm feeling social but don't feel like getting out of the house, I'll just go to the corner and just listen to the noise. Just
yeah.
I like the way it sounds. It's a just I mean, yeah, I don't know, it's weird, but
I
it's
understand
comforting.
you. I understand you. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'll sometimes just grab me some food and just go in a bar and just sit there because, like,
Yeah.
I just want to eat somewhere where there's people and like where I can hear other people, and it's like, okay, somebody will come up like, hello, what's up, and I'll be like, like, what are you doing? Just eating here, just hanging out. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
I'll sit there and surf Reddit or YouTube and just wait for people to come talk to me, and I'll you'll get the nonsense, but I'll get some people that are just, oh hey, why are you sitting by yourself? I'm just chilling.
Yeah,
I'll sit down and just start chatting, and then I meet a new friend, or
yeah.
in, and then another four people will pop in and full of people. So
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah, I love when you like meet somebody and then other people come in and then they like each other and they just hang out and then they're like off, hanging out, and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome."
That is something that I do in real life when I go out to the bar. And if I'm in a good social mood, I notice somebody sitting by themselves, I'll go over and chat them up. And if they're I'll be like, hey, would you like to meet some of my friends? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'll come over and just pull this straight out of How I Met Your Mother. Have you met this person? Y'all are all friends now. Welcome to the circle. By the way, I gotta go meet somebody else. So y'all talk, and I'll just let them go. And then I have pulled so many people in that would have been like, that have said, "Man, I was just there by myself. Thank you for coming and letting me."
Yeah.
But I just love people. I love
Yeah.
meeting people, and I don't like people being, disincluded. So VR
Yeah.
chat is a natural extension of. It's the same thing. We meet people randomly. We don't like people sitting by themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really nice that what's called a that we kind like I personally like that like for me personally I love that type of energy that can kind of like bring people together, and I in VR chat I do that a lot, like just kind of naturally. And like sometimes I look at it and I'm like, wow, I was able to like kind of just bring these people together. And that's what brought out like my community. I was able to do this like a few times. So it's like, I could do this is like I'm gonna try to do it like on a mass scale. Let's see where it goes.
Right.
um Talking about groups and stuff, I talked about a little bit my group there, and like my inspiration of my group. Talk about the or let's talk about the woods a little bit, and what your inspiration and aspirations are for the woods.
So my inspiration for the woods is I've always wanted to build a community where people just enjoy to be. Like it's a good place to hang out. And we do VR chat stuff with the bar. I'm not as active as I used to be right now because I am looking for jobs and stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm a little busy, but we are doing we do shows, music shows, and DJ comedy shows, stuff like that. We are doing our show in July 12th. We got a few artists that are performing, and then we're doing some giveaways.
Mhm.
So um, that's what the Wiz does. We like to put just entertain people and give a good environment for to hang out.
Yeah. Yeah, I what's it called? I noticed when we first met and stuff. I think I'm not sure if we had them or you had the woods in mind, but whenever you talk to me about the woods and stuff, you were trying to get like many people together, and I resonated with that so much because I was like, oh, I want to do that too. Like I want to bring people together. And I think you're doing a fantastic job bringing like a lot of people together. And like we're able to kind of just like we're literally talking right before this, like you're connecting me with somebody to talk to, and it's just like nice. um it's you're very comforting for people to just come and be like, hey, I need a little bit of help. How can I what's it called how can I ask for it? And like you're already asking for it, like
Yeah. So what's coming up for us? I'm going to be doing some IRL stuff with the woods as well. I plan on getting on karaoke equipment here in the next month,
Mhm.
and once I do, I'm wanting to find a venue if I can and host a karaoke show at a bar here in OKC and live stream it
Oh,
so
okay.
that I can start promoting some there because there's amazing singing talent here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do that. And once I get a following, then I'm gonna host some shows in VR chat as well to showcase them.
Uh-huh.
And that way we can build up and get people. Oh, hey guys, if you want to see them, come join us in VR chat. Contact me. I can tell you how, and I'll show them how to get on their phone or their computer or their headset if they got one. And we can teach them how to use it and bring them in, and they can come perform in VR chat with us too.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I would like to start. I have a lot of people that I want to meet in real life, and once I get moving, I want to take my karaoke show on the road. And every time I go visit somebody and check out their place, I want to host a karaoke show there in town and try to host it everywhere in the world that I can go
Yeah.
uh, and stream it and get people seeing from everywhere.
That's so cool. And then like with
And then like
Yeah.
Bar nights, I can like edit the video down and just have like the singers and take out the intermissions and such. And on bar nights, I can just have a cast of the singers performing for the
Yeah.
live music. We can do votes, community votes on who wants or what music goes up, what artist you want to see and stuff, and we can like follow and go in both VR chat and real life.
That's really cool. And like with VR chat, like we're able to kind of like meet so many people like throughout the whole states and the world and stuff like that. Like
Right.
uh
I
we're able to kind of just like be able to see like hey, you're in Oklahoma, but you can travel to California and bring, fellow Oklahomans, or even, get to meet new Californians, and all together just connect everybody. And everybody's talented. Everybody has their own talents, whether it's an instrument, voice, and art. And it's crazy. We I That's really cool.
it's a way to I showcase people and showcase talent.
That's
And
awesome.
I love music. So I want to take my love of music and my love of that and combine it in a way that I could showcase as many people as I can.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love people, so that's why like we're here. Like I'm kind of doing the same thing within the podcast too. Is like showcasing people, and that's what like I hope like to showcase some beautiful people too. We're here. Um,
That's why I love your energy so much. You're such a full community grower. Um, and I love that.
thank you. um, I have a few questions. What's it called? Uh, I guess what does your group do in VR chat itself whenever you do open up instances?
Just hang out at sunset bars. I do have a Just Be that I need to start using. I've been saying that for.
Oh yeah.
Um, we'll do game nights every once in a while, but once we get going good, we'll be doing bar stuff. There's a new bar coming out and it's getting coming out soon that I want to get a part of over at Crimson's places.
Oh yeah. The cyber bar?
Uh, yeah, I
Yeah.
went over and talked to him the other day and kind of picking his brain on some of the stuff and catching up with him. So I definitely intend on setting up shop over there too
Mhm.
once I get some income.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, Crimson has some good worlds. I love his worlds. If I'm not like at a sunset, I'm usually at a Crimson world. If it's like a bar type world and stuff, he has some good worlds. Like,
Yeah.
and his drinks are amazing.
And then there's some great bars that run out of his all of his worlds, clubs and bars.
Yeah, yeah, clubs, because they're also like dancing places, like strip VR chat stripping and stuff like that, or and clubs, and it's really nice. Who about who are the people in your community?
What we call everybody's got their little cute thing they call our community. Ours is the critters, critters of the woods. Um, I have you, the esteemed host, is one of my members, so
Oh.
obviously I'm already in good company. Um, Slick Rick is a big part of our community. Of course, he's
Yeah.
got his group Slick Suds. Blueprints from Blue House Bar is part of our community big. He also does our art. We got a theme, a year-long theme that will be changing out quarterly, like an overarching theme that changes out quarterly starting next month that Blue has made for us.
Uh-huh. That's like a cool.
Um, and then we just have a wide variety of people that just love to hang out. Nothing makes me happier than waking up in the morning and computer and there's like 5 people in my chat and Logan and I are not.
Yeah.
So we pop in and it's just like the whole conversation. It's just a great feeling to know that I'm in a community that people love just to hang out,
Hmm.
and I love that. So yeah, that's our people.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you have like a lot of people working together, and like I think we all have like a lot of people that we have a big part of the main community and stuff, but also like we have like people that just come in and kind of go into different communities and stuff like that, kind of just like the norms or so, and a lot of people, what's called a lot of people start from like normal people, and then they get some inspiration from us, like as leaders and community members, by like seeing us, and then they end up, creating their own groups and stuff, and they're like trying to figure out how to like run a group or ask for help and stuff like that. I think by having the leaders and stuff all set up there and still opening each other up to those norms, or like new people in a sense, uh uh what's called, we can continue to help them out and let them see like, hey, maybe it's not your time right now to start, your own community, but it's out here, you're able to see it and stuff like that. It's around
Yeah.
you, and there's
And you
enough
have people that can
support.
mentor you
Yeah, there's enough
on
support out
getting there.
here. Yeah, and I think that's really good, because even like I find myself sometimes like, maybe I find mentally short at places in my head and stuff, and like I'll just go out there and I'll talk to somebody, or either new or old, or that I've known for a while, and like they'll pick me up somehow, or kind of keep me like a little bit of track, like a little bit, just like, okay, um not what's it called, not like fixing everything, but like, kind of like, let's see where we're at, where our cards are and stuff like that, and like kind of just like go from there, and like, this is what we're doing, this is where we're at, and like it gives me inspiration, whether it's like a thought or an idea, or even just like a good helping ear and stuff like that. I think we're all helping each other one way or another. um where do you see your community going? I think we talked about it a little bit. Um,
Yeah. Just like I said, promoting people, trying to promote as many people as I can and build up others.
mhm. Yeah, it's just kind of being like a promotional place and stuff. Uh, I think that's great. I Is there anything you'd like to promote for the Woods? I think you had an event coming up right in the summer.
We do. July 12th, we have a show, like I said. Um, we got a few people performing, but we also the giveaways that I mentioned, we're going to be doing. My girlfriend is a pastry chef here locally, and she is going to donate a dozen cookies
Mhm.
of the winner's choice. Um, we got some avatars possibly that we're looking to try to get some avatar creators to donate, and then I personally, the Woods is giving away a Quest 3S.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, we got a few giveaways and stuff, and you said July 12th. And
July 12th,
there we go. Um, do we have
Saturday night.
do we have a name for the event yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
We do need to get a plan. I have no said with that. I've been waiting for plans concrete and get everything going, but
No,
you know,
yeah. I'll take time.
we got to get that.
We have time and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
let's see what how do we as VR chat users and community leaders grow communities while understanding the toxicity that can still exist in VR chat?
Well, toxicity is going to exist as long as you're breathing.
Yeah.
So that is no different than anywhere else. However, VRChat has provided us with wonderful moderation tools that people don't use enough, like block buttons and mute buttons. Um, So, and you can even go as far as to block groups.
Mhm.
So if you go to a group and it's garbage, you don't like the atmosphere, you can block the group where you never see them again.
Yeah.
Um, so I like to teach people how to handle those situations as far as how to find them. We have our tools that we use, such as VRCX, and how to try to sniff out who it is that's doing crashing or toxicity, and then show people how to moderate correctly. And as when people
Mhm.
are doing that, I mean, it's nothing. And there's some wonderful groups out there that do wonderful moderation.
Oh yeah.
You'll hear somebody make a syllable and they're already gone. You know. So, there's some great groups doing it already, but the new
Mhm.
groups, they need some help. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's what we just teach them the ways what to do.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think so, like especially coming in as a new person, like even not even knowing about VR chat or groups and stuff like that. Um and you're coming into VR chat and you're like, I'm gonna create a community in here, and you don't know where the block button is. I think think you're gonna have a trouble. No, no, but
Yeah.
but it's good to teach people, like even like I've learned a lot through like moderating itself, and I failed like so many times. Like I've kicked somebody out, and I'm like, oh, wrong person, or what's it called? And like
You know what?
I'm
You
like,
learn from mistakes. We all make them, so don't stress over
and
that.
I'm like, you know what? He's gonna have to come back in an hour. Like I'm just gonna laugh at this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, see, I see so many bar, staff that will try to chase them down and click on them, and I teach people to use the
The little,
tool, just going down to show who's in the instance, the drop down
yeah.
menu, and then you can click every name on there. So all you gotta do is go, oh, I see that name, click,
Uh,
bye, and then you don't misclick anybody. And a lot of people forget about that menu or don't think about it in the heat of the moment.
Oh
So
yeah, I what's
I
it
try to
called?
remind people of that as people struggling.
I've
That's just one other way.
I have a funny thought. I what's it called? I've done this a few times where like they start running and I'm like, oh, he's running, and I'm like, and then I click the little thing and I'm like, he's just going somewhere, and I just kick him out, and then he's like getting scared. I don't know in my head, but
I, I love to. I've just started. We just recently rewatched 51st Dates recently, and there's
oh,
a line in there where he's like, and Rob Schneider's like, and when it poof, and then Adam Sandler's like, can you tell me about the poofing again? Are you? So now I've got to where every time they get to be go, let me show you a magic trick. Poof. And they just disappear. It's corny, I know, but I entertain myself.
I know, yeah, and and even like in my little thing, I'm like, oh, he's running. In my head, he's just like, I don't know. I'm thinking about like somebody just like running like in a
You
murder
know what?
mystery run, like.
If you're not having fun, what you're doing, then you're working, and work is sucks. I refuse. And if it just involves me entertaining myself in my head, that's fine. But
Oh
I'm gonna have
yeah,
fun at everything I do from now on. I'm too old to
oh yeah, like
lay away mindlessly. No, I'm gonna have a blast doing, even if it's menial labor. I'm gonna have a blast doing it because I'm gonna keep myself entertained.
yeah, yeah. You just have to find those like little bright moments and stuff. It's life is too long or too short, I guess. I'm
Yeah,
not sure. Life is
life's
life
too
to
short.
life is to life to what's it called? To be angry. No, to take everything serious. No, I don't
Yeah.
know.
What did Ferris Bueller say? I'm gonna butcher this. Life life comes at you fast, and if you don't pay attention, it'll pass you by. It's something like that. I butchered the hell out of that. That was bad. But yeah,
I get that though. I get that.
yeah, you gotta live your life, man.
Yeah.
And I'm older now, so I've lived half my life already. It's time to enjoy the rest of it.
Yeah, what's it called? That's why like when I thought of this podcast, I was like, I need to like have fun, and when I do it, because like I can try to structure as much as possible, but I need to have the fun because if I'm having fun, I know that they're having fun, we're having fun together. And like we already have so much fun together. Like that's why I wanted to bring you on here. Like
We know we're a blast. We just need everybody else to see.
oh yeah.
That sounds so cocky.
It's just the confidence, you know. No.
Yeah. Flex.
I think we talked about like the types of toxicity crashers, rage. We didn't really, discuss rage baiting, but that's a really big thing. I think that's in general a lot of people and hate and negativity. I think within my community, I try to like always just have like a little place where people can kind of just like I call it like a little oasis for my people in VRChat because there's like a lot of things, whether it's real life or in
Oh yeah.
VRChat or whatever in the internet, because the world said something and stuff like that. But what's it called? uh I hope that I can like continue to grow like a nice oasis where people can just chill there, and I hope
Yeah.
personally to think of new things and ways to help people, and like I'm a like I call myself like a gardener and stuff like that, whether it's like gardening in real life or gardening in real in the virtual world or real life in general of people. But like I like to like show people something so they can so it's like a seed, whether it's my good vibes or what's called my niceness or who uh uh energy, confidence, or whatever it is. I hope that people can take that and take it for themselves and to grow themselves, in any little way. I know I do that a lot, looking up to people like Rick, and so many people on what's it called VRChat that like that are just having fun, like you're not out there like, hey, you gotta do this. No, you're gonna be my age, and no, it's like like
Yeah.
let's have fun.
I have lived my life very different, and I don't regret it because I've lived my life and had a blast doing it. And I don't. If I had waited till my age now to start doing some of the stuff that I would have done before, I wouldn't have been able to do it because of my health from the military. My
Hmm.
back and hips are getting worse. You saw me earlier hobbling around as I was walking. Like, I wouldn't be able to get in all the mosh pits, go to the festivals and
Yeah.
experience it the way that I did. Having my kids, my kids can't sit on my shoulders anymore, but I stood in Florida for 3 days with a 10-year-old on my shoulders and an 8-year-old on
Yeah.
my, and I could never do that now. And I would not trade that for the world. So no, I don't. It, what's the word? Implore people to live their lives. Don't worry
Hmm.
about the age. Live their lives because life is short, and you never know what may happen down the road to where you physically can't do some stuff that you wanted to do now.
Yeah. I take that a lot to heart. I really
I
do.
mean, be smarter than me. Save some money. I didn't save anything, but I don't regret that because everything I spent was spent on experience in life, and I lived it.
Hmm.
But
That's awesome.
it's not for everyone.
I do want to hit my vape really quick, so give me just a moment. Okay. see. Oh,
I bet. I'm here. I just cut my video off.
mhm.
Really video? You're gonna be like this now? Oh, I know what it is. Some other program took it over.
Yeah, some other program pulls it.
There we go. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we can we were talking about toxicity and stuff, and I think you mentioned like some tools earlier about like VRCX and stuff.
Mhm.
I think VRCX helps a lot with like with just tracking a lot if any creators are watching this, anybody is what's called watching this in for future reference. I encourage you guys to use VRCX for your group managing. Helps a lot with like tracking people that come in, and so you'll be able to see who like comes in and out of of your instance basically.
Yeah.
And
You can see all the information really quick without having to click through a bunch of menus. It's just click, 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 click.
yeah, and speaking about a tool and stuff like that, I think a lot of people had a lot of trouble in the past with like easy anti cheat, which that was a really big tool. But I think it really implemented the groups a lot better. It got rid of most of the crashers, even though there is still crashers, but I think like
You're, unless they make the game age gated completely, they're never going to get rid of crashers, and they're not
yeah,
going to do that. I don't want them to.
yeah,
But if our communities out there police themselves with using the tools that's available, then they won't be able to come in because they're not going to risk their account.
yeah. And even just like using your normal tools and just like discernment of people, you can kind of like combat that yourself and you know um guide the toxic people to the toxic people. No, I don't know. Not let them come in around in your groups and stuff like that. It's a very small world. your your reputation and actions travel fast.
Yeah.
um so what's it
Especially
called?
with the
Yeah.
verified nuisance list.
Oh
Also,
yeah.
using metal to record. That way, when you see somebody
Oh
acting out, you can just take a clip of that, submit it to VRChat, submit it to DCN, and they get put on lists, and everybody blocks them from their groups.
yeah, so like yeah, like there's like a tool like DCN is run by Sunset, and it's a Discord group. um uh it's Duskview, I think. That's
Dusty City Knights. They're the ones
Dustview.
that built Sunset.
Yeah, they're the ones
That's
that
what the
build.
actual group is called.
They're the ones that build Sunset, and they have a really good community, which uh keeps a blacklist of people that they ban from their whole community. So if anybody also isn't in that group, I would recommend a lot of people to go in that group. It's a really good group tool for yourself, as well as like many. There's probably other groups out there that are doing the same thing at a high level as Sunset and Duskview, themselves.
And you can also go, a lot of people don't know this. If you go onto their Discord and go to the tickets, you can open a ticket to age verify through them. And then
Oh yeah.
unless the instance owner turns it off, you're open gated, so you don't have to wait in line.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, so if more people utilize that, that would cut down on lines, waiting, because most bars see that you're good,
Yeah,
that you're age
I
verified.
I just go in there and it lets me in. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it,
And
and
that
it's nice.
and that's really cool about like these worlds that are getting more um like built and better, and things that are being implemented like age gate, like just being able to be Discord verified in an instance and just being let in while also having the security gates available, you know um for new people. It's just like such a great idea, and it's a big tool itself, moving forward with worlds and communities and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, what I wanna talk about like different platforms like Twitter, TikTok, Discord, um, Instagram and stuff. I think like social medias as a whole has a big guide with VR chat. There's a lot of people that picture it as a very negative space because what's called you can talking about toxicity, you can just rage bait capture that, and then people are kind of like, oh yes, awesome, like this is funny, and which is a big issue that we have within VR chat because that's what gets put out there. That's what
Yeah.
gets kind of like the views and stuff like that. And that's why I'm trying to create a different environment. It's not like it's just capturing moments and experiences that are out there instead of having to get an emotion out of somebody because you want to get them mad or something or make them say something funny or I don't know. It's just you can make somebody say something funny, and it doesn't have to be making them angry. You can just get that out
Right.
of them.
I mean, you could just have a conversation with them and say something funny. I mean,
Yeah,
how many comedy clubs are we a part of?
yeah,
You know, every Thursday there's open mic at Apple. D Silly can get you up there if you want to go to make people laugh without being stupid.
yeah, yeah. There's just like so many different ways to express themselves, and I think that's a way of them expressing themselves in a way. But I hope that like more people, me in planting seeds and stuff like that. Hopefully, a lot of people get see what I do and people try to do it themselves and try to capture funny moments and do those things and heartfelt moments instead of like these rage baiting and angry moments. And that's
Yeah.
what I a really big goal of mine as a social media creator uh wants to do and help a lot more people too.
And that's the kind of community I grow to is just people that don't put up with that nonsense. And when you get a good community going, you know this as well as I do. The community polices itself, and you don't need to sit there and moderate because the community will let you know when something needs to be taken care of, and they'll handle it. And then just say, "Hey, this happened. Here's what happened," and you're like, "Cool," and you handle the situation.
Yeah, yeah, we have kind of like a almost like a little societal rules that we have in VR chat. Like just, rules that we follow. It's just like, okay, this is this is I don't know, it's really nice what we all do together and we all follow it, and that's what, other people's don't, and then we're like, kind of just like like, okay,
Well, honestly, what would help a lot with the troll community is that people have the mindset that VR chat is a game, just a video game like Mario. And it's really not. Just like you mentioned social media. It's a social platform. And as I mentioned in the beginning, evolution. It's not a video game. Yeah, we can do outrageous virtual things, do anything that our minds can come up with. But at the same time, the majority of us spend the time bar talking to people. It's a social platform, and if you've been walking to the bar, do it. Don't walk into VR chat and do it. I mean, obvious outside of the absurd because VR chat is absurd. It's a virtual platform. It should be.
I think
But if you're acting like an asshole, people are going to respond in kind. And if you do that in a real bar, you're going to get punched in the like kicked out of the bar. So like it's not shocking that people are getting kicked out because if they come into a real place like that. But they keep go, oh, it's just a game. It's just a game. Well, it's it's a social platform.
yeah, I think like
And
within that like people continue to like spread like hate because like, oh, they get kicked and stuff, and it's like, well, like it's okay, like they have the right to kick you, they don't want you there. It's
I
like
mean, hey, I worked in a bar for a year hosting karaoke. I watched people get grounded from the bar all the time. I heard more than not, go home, come back tomorrow when you're sober. Or, you know what? You done messed up. We'll see you in a month.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been guilty of that one. I've gotten grounded from a month in the bar. It's happened.
And,
Alcohol makes you
yeah.
stupid.
And it, and
But I didn't
yeah.
complain. I said, you know what? I take it. I understand. I messed up. Took my month from that bar, and I came back, and then there hasn't been an issue since.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
and
just how life works.
and yeah, and there's a difference too from like, coming in intentionally being, an a-hole, and compared to like what's it called, getting, drunk, and like having a bad time, you know going on and stuff like that, and getting too drunk or something like that, and respecting to leave and coming back and stuff like that, because I've had to kick people out, and I'm like, even two people that are drunk that are just like having a bad conversation, I'm like, I'm getting both of you out. You guys have to, you know get out of here with that. Like, I'm
And you know
sorry.
what? That's exactly what happens in a real bar.
Yeah.
So again, it's just an extension of real life. We're just
Yeah.
doing it virtually with people around the world. But
And
I mean, most people are drinking while they're playing. So when they're raising that virtual glass, I know when I'm drinking on the game, raise that virtual glass to cheers. I'm holding my cup up and then I drink my glass
yeah.
and my drink. So the only what part of that is not real at that point? The fact that I'm not physically present in the bar, but
Yeah.
why is it? Why is it not real? Because of that when we're doing the exact actions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to say that I treat it as real life because it's not, but at
Yeah,
the same
yeah, no,
time,
yeah. Yeah.
I
Well,
respect it as a public space.
yeah. I think that's I think with social media and stuff like that, uh we can amplify the positivities and stuff, and that's for sure, that's what I want to do, and hopefully continue to grow like the perception of people and stuff like that, that's not just this negative place or this game, that people, hey, it's just a game, haha, I'm gonna be, rude, or a bad person to people because it's a game and it's funny.
Hey,
And
when I see somebody that's chill and they got their TikTok or Discord or Twitch and their links or their bio, I go follow them because they're chill and I'm having a
mhm,
good conversation. I'm gonna give them support on the social platform. So,
yeah.
you know, they tie in together. And if they're crap, I'm gonna tell people don't go to that channel because the person behind it sucks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's just like,
social media, it's great with the integrations, but it's a double-edged sword, just like everything else.
it,
Positive, negative behavior reverberates.
yeah, it's just using it responsibly, basically. And like make sure, like, just being aware, because like you can really pick your own self as a really bad person for yourself. And I've seen it for like my own self, and it's like, dang, like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah. Well, so many people don't think about their image or their reputation, and they just say, "Ah, I can do whatever I want," and people will like it, and they don't accept that while you have freedom of speech to say whatever you want, the rest of the world has freedom of speech to react in kind. So you can't act like that towards people and not expect to get it back.
Yeah.
You get what you give out.
Hmm. That's for sure. What we have one more topic here. Um and I would like to, well, there's a hidden topic, but we already know what that is. No, it's good, but it was but
Get a
the fun.
car. I get a car.
How do we or how do we do better as people to guide others? Um let's see.
Lead by example.
Uh-huh.
Be the light that you want the world to see. If you want to see positivity in the world, be positive.
Yeah.
And if you get crapped on for it, just wipe it off and keep being positive. Because at the end of the day, I very much believe in karma, and what you put out, you get returned threefold. So you put up negativity, that's what you get back. You put a negative community out, that's what you get back.
Mhm. I think I think like for me personally, I like to see everybody as like growing, in a respectful manner, as if and as long as people are respecting each other, not only just me but the people around me too, and all together being mindful of like, hey, this is what, what's it called, for themselves, like this is what I like, don't this is what I don't like, and kind of communicating, learning how to grow together, and just what's it called, even if you don't like somebody, like why are you going to be around them constantly, kind of just like understanding, like being mindful around each other. um be it, go hang out, whatever what you have to do, and I'll have my own area, be, what's called, I literally vibe check people, like if I don't like people, like in my own personal perspective, I won't tell them. I don't have to be like engaging and, but I would just be like, okay, like I just don't like this. I don't want this around me, because if not, it's gonna make me angry. And if you get me angry, you're gonna you're not gonna see a nice person anymore.
You won't like the cock when it's angry.
Yeah, and what's it called? And I rather just not deal with that. It's easier
Yeah.
for me to just like, okay, I understand this, I totally see it, and it's better to easy to mindfully push away. And
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because a thing that I've been trying to encourage multiple people and mentor multiple people on doing is, and VRChat, and it's not just VRChat. I've seen it in the bar communities too in life, but VRChat's got a especially bad problem of, if I get in a disagreement with you, people in VRChat expect that we can't, just because we had a disagreement, now you can't hang out with your friends can hang out with me because of that. And that's childish. And I've been trying to encourage people, like, look, it is impossible for everyone to get along in a community. It's not going to happen. And no, you can't ask people to. But when you don't get along with somebody, just block them. They can be in the same instance. You don't even have to mention that they're there. Don't go, oh, I know they're here. Don't talk about it. They don't
yeah,
exist to you anymore, and have a good time. And if you walk up to a group and they're talking about the person's there, just ignore the fact that they're there, or go to a different conversation, like,
yeah,
just be an adult about it.
yeah,
And that's what splinters so many of these communities is, two people have a disagreement and they force everybody to pick sides, and
yeah,
there's no reason to, unless it's, and if it's immoral, illegal, or it just just, then yeah. But if you're just having a argument about something, or something, between, or not me stupid, but just between y'all, that's y'all's problem, not mine.
yeah, yeah. There's a
And too
way.
many people try to make it everybody else's problem. There's no
Yeah,
reason for it to be.
yeah, like for me personally, like I don't like to, even for people that like I dislike and stuff, like I don't try to put them in a negative manner, like maybe I need to vent in a sense, but for putting them in a perspective of, hey, this person did this to me or something, I don't want you to talk to him. That is very childish, and that's what I try to do better. And like, for me, just like process it, learn how to like process it myself, do better for myself, and hopefully I can teach that to other people, but it's hard to, say give it to them, but I can only, lead by example, like you say, and do it that way, and learn boundaries, like how you explain, like, just like, you know you don't have to be like, I'm not going to not stop being their friends because of you, but you have to understand like, hey, we're all people. We're all gonna have disagreements. We're all gonna have a disagreement, agreement, and like even if you don't ever talk to each other again, that's not your perspective to push onto another person, and we have to respect that boundary of each other.
There are plenty. I mean, I there's people at the bars that I go to that I don't like or that don't like me, and I know that. And you know, so many people think they need to come up and say something, but the worst thing that you can do to a human being and harm them is to look straight through them and never see them. And I that's what I do at bars when I see people that I don't like, and I'll see them trying to catch my eye, and I just look right past them, and I don't see them. And you know what? They don't exist to me, and that harms people more than anything else when they no longer feel like they're seen. And you can speak volumes without saying a word.
Yeah.
So, that's how I treat things. That's how I treat people in
Yeah.
VRChat too. There's people that I do not like at all that I've never blocked because I want them to know that I don't see them. That when I walk in the room and they are there, I don't go near them. I don't see them. They don't exist to me. Speak to me, I'll be cordial because I'm a cordial person, but it's going to be very short, sweet, and to the point.
Yeah.
But sometimes I've had them walk up to me and I just ignored their existence. And they just stood there until they got the message and they walked away. And you know what? I didn't have to say a word or cause a scene or do anything else.
Yeah.
It just makes it easy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no what's it called, there's a, it's really good to just be mindful for yourself. You don't need to, what's it called, you don't need to give everybody your energy and stuff like that. And that's what, you know kind of like, hopefully if anybody understands and resonates with that, like it helps them out so they can kind of like just be strong in themselves and don't really need to do that, because like why, why traverse through this path and talk to them and have extra, things. Like it's like, it's all right, it's good. No, like
Yeah.
whatever. Like I'm moving on with my life. No.
Yeah. Hey, anybody that don't want to, I'm going to the top. Anybody that don't go with me is welcome to side and watch cheer me on as I go. And if they're going to try to cheer against me, I won't hear them. They don't exist.
Yeah. I love that. Oh, what's it called? I think that's really like, I think we mentioned like a lot for both like VR and IRL, and like we can honestly learn both ways in IRL and VR, with either putting, IRL in VR, because that's what we kind of are doing, because we're like grabbing real life things and putting it in there, and what's it called, and taking some things that we learn from VR and stuff like that, and bringing it out to the world and stuff like that. And that can go, in many directions, whether it's, communication, emotions, or, talking to people, or even showing off your talents. And like, it's just nice, like honestly, like VRChat, VR has really changed my life years ago. I'm so happy that I've ever like grabbed a headset and got into VR and stuff like that. And I think the last topic I just want to talk about, because it's the hidden topic, uh, and it's
Yeah.
it ERP.
Ooh, ooh.
I know what's it called. I know a lot of people have like, their negatives or their positives and stuff, and I think like overall, like, I it's a really good topic for me, because it's something like, what's it called, a lot of people talk about, and why not, and I think,
Well,
what do you think about VR or ERP?
I am I have a positive on it, you know. I used to, going back to the chat room days, I did the cybering in the chat rooms. And, it was always God. If there was a way that we could almost be together, you know, you could do that. As long
Mhm.
as it's legal and moral and ethical, then what adults do is what adults do. And adults, human beings, are sexual creatures. So why would you not use something, especially with all of the tools that exist out there with Lovense and all that? Why would you not? Like, that's ridiculous to say that you're not going to use it for that. But as long as minors are not involved, who cares?
Mhm.
None
Yeah.
of their business. If they don't like it, stay out of the room. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, what's it called? I'm a big advocate myself for ERP. Like I don't just go out there and do it, but like I've experienced it myself, and what's it called? And it honestly, it's like an experience, like for people to like connect with each other, people from around the world, um and it's just like it's like magical that we can go on VR chat and experience something like that with people from around the world, and it's people make communities out of it. People, have Friday weekends, or uh,
The
what's
gallery,
called
great
kink
group
nights
for
and
it.
stuff
Every
like that.
Friday they have NSFW night.
Yeah, NSFW nights, or like Titty Tuesdays with what's called doobies
Boobies
and
and
boobies,
boobies.
and like well, that doesn't have VRP, but what's called it's just nice that we have like the sexual availability in VR chat with like the
Yeah.
things that we do and what we experience and stuff like that. And like there's just you can experience like a lot of things from the rainbow, from games to what's called socialize to
Yeah.
experiences and even ERP, and like
Yeah. I mean, adults have sex.
yeah,
Why treat it like that's a horrible thing? It's not.
yeah.
If we didn't have sex, then none of us would be here, right? So if adults want to go on VRChat and have sex in a private space, as long as, or if there's people present, as long as everybody's consenting and it's, who cares? It's nobody's business.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I have a story. They were ERP'd in a public lobby. that
See,
was
that's
so,
wrong. That again,
that,
that
that
goes
was
back to what I said.
that
You
was
wouldn't do this. You
terrible.
wouldn't do it in a bar. Come on,
That
bro.
was terrible.
Hey, but I have seen people do it in the bar, not full sex, but they have gone into it there and happy
Yeah,
days.
no,
But
that
hey,
was
oh
that
my
was
god,
going too far, honestly, and like they weren't kicking the people out and stuff like that. And personally, like if that was my instance, I would have kicked them out. But like they were
yeah.
doing
And that goes back to where I said, as long as everybody's consent, you're not going to public space because anybody can walk in, and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not fair to. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm married to Logan, and then I have my girlfriend Andy. So like, there's multiple people, nothing wrong with that, because we're all consenting adults.
hmm
Easy.
I loved what we talked about today. I'm so happy that I was able to get you on here, and like
Thank
I'm
you for
I'm
having
sure
me.
that we have the audio this time, and what's it called? It's been so nice to talk to you. It's been awesome, and
I've loved it.
I love that we haven't really talked to each other in a few weeks too. So we was able to kind of like catch up a little bit and engage with each other as well. And it's wonderful to talk to you, Janessa.
I love that. Okay.
And thank you. That will be the podcast, the Dabcast. And I appreciate if anybody drops a follow, a like. I will have Janessa's links in the description. Check us out on Spotify, on YouTube, and on my Twitch channel, monkey_dabs. Check out the Monkey Dabs experience. Monkey Dabs experience.co. That should have all my links there. And if you need it, I have the QR code up top of there. It'll be in the description as well. If you guys need any of my socials, they're there. And thank you guys, everybody, and thank you, Janessa, for being here with me. I appreciate you so much, and thank you, VRChat itself,
Thank
for
you for everybody that popped in, and thank you, Monkey, for having me on.
thank you so much.
I,
Goodbye,
I will see
goodbye.
you in the chat. Bye.